Good morning. Why is my chat not updated? Hang on. Very strange. What happened to the chat? Oh, my cat wants to yell. This is great. Where's this at? Chat. Why broken? That's from last stream. Very strange. Hello. I'll be starting on stuff here in just a little bit. But I got a whole host of stuff to get done that I'm very excited about. Something I did on Sunday was I went and I 3D printed a bunch of minis for this campaign. I have all of the boss minis done for this one, and then I got all the PC minis done for the next campaign I'm running, or the additional one I'm running. Why is the reminders in the bottom so bad? This. Why is it like off the screen? And why can't I move it? OBS, can you make a piece of software that functions correctly ever? Oh my gosh. The amount of problems I have with this program, I actually think it's the plugin that's doing this, but the amount of problems I have with this program is bananas. It's ridiculous. Now I have to go through and fix it, and it's just gonna take forever. Nope, Snake, you gotta stop yelling at me. I'm not in the mood. Okay, hang on. Where did you go? He fucking teleported. Where did you go? He was right behind me. Completely lost him. Alright. I need to turn off all of its filters. And then I can move it to here. Like, you couldn't even see it. It was just completely gone. What the hell? I can take the reminders and put them back where they go. Here. Right? And then we run the starter to get the bobbing movement going. This whole thing, by the way, was a pain in the ass. At some point, I've got to write my own software to do this because it's very bad the way it is. We're not doing Hollow Knight either. I'm very prepared. I certainly didn't just go live because I was bored. What is this? What am I thinking of for this title? Session prep. There we go. And then I need the warning that I give for all of my session prep streams, which is, if you're in the party, don't watch this. Why can't they select that anymore? OBS! We need to fire OBS into the sun. Okay. Last time we left off, my sheet of paper, I used it to clean up some acrylic glue that had my notes on it for these streams, so I'm just running off the dome. Oh, I wrote it down here. Last time, I went through plans for recapping the previous session. I've not written that yet. I should definitely write that. They have to fix their bastion is currently on fire because they were fighting a red dragon that crashed into it. They want to cut up the red dragon and sell it for parts, which is funny that that's the first thing they came up on. I've run a lot of campaigns for this group. It's my brother and sister and a family friend of ours, and they've always been kind of interested in like story quests, and this was the first time where they were like, no, we want to fix the bastion and we want to do economics, which I thought was very interesting. They fixed the kitchen that got destroyed during the fight. I need to introduce a cat. There's a cat that lives in the monastery where they set up their bastion. There's a little bit of lore. So again, if you're in the party, please don't watch this. Please, you're gonna spoil yourself a lot. And then they want to go to town. There's one more thing I'm missing. Probably between these two. If I can write. Obsidian. Oh, I'm in view mode. Whoops. What is it gonna be? Oh, yes. Obsidian Dragon, who I don't remember the name of, because my brother made this NPC, and just still hasn't written down. He's told me what the NPC's name is, but he just has not written it down so that I can remember it. Or add it to my notes. It's like not even on here anywhere. We need exposition from him. Exposition. Roleplay. Notice that I did not abbreviate exposition. There's another streamer, Doug, who's currently live, by the way. You should definitely go watch his stream and not mine. It's way more interesting, I'm sure. And one of his friends, Parkser, Adam Parkser, says ERP a lot and does not know what that means. I've even heard this like in business terms. I don't remember what it means in business context, but y'all gotta stop. Okay. Exposition, roleplay, what does he need to cover? So this was a dragon that was captured by the 12th band of the army of Eros, which is the red dragon that's the right hand of Tiamat. Again, spoilers, if you're in the party, don't watch this. So he needs to bring up what he would have overheard from the kobolds that were trying to capture the dragons getting out of there. Probably he would have heard something about Band 12. Or the 12th band or something like that. 12th band. What else? It probably would have heard about some of the command structure. And that all of the lieutenants are... There's one leader and then 4 lieutenants under her. But they probably wouldn't have used their names, so... How do you spell this word? Hang on. Lieutenants. I was not close at all, actually. Lieutenants 1 through 5. Sure. What else would he have heard of? I can probably hint at some further story about dragon blood. I'm keeping this vague on purpose because it's gonna be vague when he says it. Connected to Pet. Pet is an NPC who is part of the villains. And it's mentioned that one of the player characters looks like this Pet character. But the players don't know why yet. Okay, that should be fine. And then they want to go to town. This is going to be the big part of this session. I imagine we can finish this stuff in like an hour or two. Really, all of this will be an hour or two, including the intro. And then this will take up the rest of the day. Unless they find some way to drag out, like fixing the kitchen or this roleplay. The rest of it is pretty on the rails. So going to town is going to be a kind of module style. I need a map. What do I need? I need a map. I need enemies. We need story. It's gonna be a 5-room dungeon sort of structure, loosely. I intended there being 5 rooms, and it's gonna be like 5 houses that are pretty simple. They are going. We got this peninsula here. This is an ancient map of this region, which is here. And they want to go to Hearthar Town, which no longer exists. So they'll get here and it'll be ruins, like very old ruins of a town that was raised by dragons. At one point there was like a battle and stuff. Who is emailing me this late at night? Hang on, this might actually be important. Oh, okay. They're just telling me about a meeting. I don't know why anyone's working this late. There must be something important. So I imagine this town will have, 5 or 6 buildings in quotes that are kind of standing. The main one's going to be a schoolhouse. This will just be a lore drop. And they'll get to fight some bad guys and get some loot and all that jazz. So I'm going to turn around really quick and grab a book off the shelf that I want to look at. So just a second. I returned. You won't be able to see this. I might scan it in here in a second. These are 2 books that I've got called Village Maps for Game Masters and Town Maps for Game Masters. I don't know where I bought these. I think Amazon, probably. And I'm just going to look through. Probably the villages is going to be smaller. So that's what I'm betting on for now. And I'm just going to look through and find one that looks nice. Find a good structure. Some of these are a little bit too fancy, I think. We'll see. Lots of these are water-based, so like one of these is an island. And I can always make some changes. We might pop into Incarnate for a little bit and do some playing around with ideas. I almost like this. I think that's meant to be a river that goes through there, but... No, these aren't what I want. Okay. Let's load up Incarnate and see what I can get up to. What business I can get. Please hold. Please hold. Why am I not logged in? That's not my password? Oh my gosh. There we go. I guess it's been a really long time since I've had to log into this. No, don't save. Okay. We need a new map. I'm just pulling up some stuff really quick so that it doesn't display any of my personal info. I guess fantasy battle maps is fine. Or is there watercolor? Oh, watercolor battle maps is gonna be way better. Battle maps classic? Yeah, okay. I like this. Entitled Arthar Ruins. Yeah, 2K should be okay. Square. And here we go. Oh, it lays out a grid for you and everything? That's badass. And we need this new map, Incarnate. There we go. Alright. I'm assuming everyone can see this. I can see it in OBS. What is the play here? What's the play? So we got trees. Trees are definitely part of it. We want our main road moving in over here. So let's do that. Let's get a brush going. Get our paper. Texture, color. Can I change the hue of this? Tweak colors. Yeah. Do I want higher saturation? Can I change? I can change the actual hue here. Why can't they change the hue? Eh? What? What? Okay, I want like a pale dirt color, I guess. And it painted over the lines. How? Why? How did this even happen? Oh, this is a tile. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Texture that gets placed over everything. I think I'm just gonna get rid of that. Let's go back and nuke that. We don't need it. I'm cool with just replacing this whole shindig with something else. Yeah, just the paper texture. No stamps or nothing over it. And then I'll manually place a grid. Cool. Grid should be visible. I think that's a fine enough grid. The town's gonna be pretty small, destroyed after all this time, so yippee. This will be our road in. I'm assuming the road, because this would have been a major town at one point. So the road should be like... Let's take a look back at the map and make a decision. The road going down to Harthar Town. How wide would that road be? Maybe 40 feet wide? I closed Obsidian. Maybe like 40 feet wide. I'm gonna give him a good 10 feet of road here. That's still probably not really well maintained, but you can definitely still see it. Trees have not grown up through this patch of woods. Every now and again people come out this way and clear the trail. And then up here should be kind of greenish. Probably not mint green, but slightly green. That's kind of mint green, but that's fine. It's all going to be black and white when I print it on my printer. Actually, I won't even print this. Probably just draw it on a map. This is where one of those fancy screen setups would really be useful for displaying battle maps and the like. I'm going to do that at some point. I've got someone gave me a TV, and I'm gonna build a table. It's just I need to be in a space where that's acceptable. Okay, let's go back to stamps. These are the fun parts. Why are these not transparent? Are these transparent? They're not transparent. Do I care? How much do I care? How much do I care? I don't know that I care. Object layer. Trees. I want to define an entrance to this place. Okay, we need to scale up the trees because trees are probably more than 5 feet wide, especially in this dense of forested area. Like, we could just have the entrance be this center part here. That would be cool. Or is that tree just really small? It's okay. Cool. And then at the back here, I want to have some sort of ruined building. Let's see if I can make that happen. Let's see. What options do I have? So there's just regular houses, which I will definitely steal. Well, okay, actually none of these are really my fancy. I can't say that I'm stoked about any of those. It says there's 199 assets in this pack. Oh, because some of them are more than one. Angular entrances. I guess I just don't get it. As per usual. I could take the whole house. And then build out each interior in like dungeon scroll or something. How do these walls work? Can I? Nope, that's not how that works. How do these work? Do you have to place it like this? No, that seems stupid. That seems not correct. Let me add a layer, object layer. Houses. Huh. What are these? Walls? Okay. Fences. Why is... I don't really get Incarnate for battle map making. I get it for everything else. Like these walls, how do you make anything with this? Hang on, I'm gonna look up really quick how do you make dungeon maps. You listen to some music. People are using the mask tool. Okay. The new shape and line tool does exactly this. So I'm of the opinion, when it comes to making maps like this, that aside, the sun is in my eyes, which is, I guess, a good problem to have. We've had winter for too long, and it's starting to wear on me. So I'm glad the sun's out. I just wish it wasn't pointed at me like a gun. I think with all tools that you can set up on a grid, things should... This is a complex thought I'm having. Hang on. Things should be simple. I don't want to have to go through with this tool that says wall, but I know it's a stamp. So what can I do with a stamp that says wall? Do I line it up like this? Because now this is train tracks. I don't know if you knew this. Train tracks, right? Not what you want. Can I? There we go. So, like, I don't... But I guess the shape tool is here to save the day, I guess? What does this give us? Can I just... shape? Okay, that's better than nothing, but... Also, that is better than nothing. But then I'm gonna have weird... Okay, I guess I can change the line to be... Wait. Is this what I want? No, this is interesting. I like this. This is better. This is way better. I wish that this was... Why is there not a tutorial for the train tracks? No way. I called it. Freaking called it, dude. So I need the line tool then. I need to stop closing that. Line tool. No, not free draw. No, pen. And then we need wall. That's cliff. Cliff. Rock wall. This is like a bust up rock wall. And now I need building. So the first thing I need is a schoolhouse. How big is a schoolhouse? Let's say there were like 20 people who lived here at one point. 20 Dragonborn. They might only have like 5 or 6 kids in the village at any one time. Well, I don't know. I don't know how the math works out on that. See. It's like this. Cool. Oh, but I kind of want it to be broken up. Because we need space for a door. So how do I do that? Can I edit nodes? Or can I add nodes here? Here. And click and drag a node to remove it. Cut path. There. Right. And now I can move this node here. Great. Okay. My position has changed quite a bit on Incarnate, everyone. I'm thinking different things about this software and what it's capable of. Can I drag select stuff? No, still no. But could I take these nodes? I guess I'll have to move them individually. So like here, here because I realized the building is too big. Okay. So we've got this. I guess this would be like a chest-high stone wall, and then you would have built wood on top of it. Because these were dragonborn in a land of pretty constant draconic fighting, so you wouldn't want your whole building destructible. Would they have even built with wood at all? Would they have built with wood at all? I think they would have built with wood because they're in a forest. So just the economics of how do you get resources. Lumber is the obvious answer. In the mountain regions, my guess is they would have built with stone. But for necessity's sake, you'd have some stone here that probably got shipped in because they're underwater by boat. I can justify that. I'm putting wood and stone in here. Okay, in this side, we're going to have a chimney that sticks up. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I know how to use the tool now. Great. Oh, maybe I can just modify the path that's already here. Here. Oop. And then another one here, right? Here, and then here, and then these get moved to here. Right, and then maybe your teacher's desk would go up here, and then you've got your fire going, right? Cool. 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 There won't be a door on it. I don't think. Now we need more houses. I also don't like that this is like right in line with the... Oh, I can move the whole building? Oh, hell yeah. I don't like that that's right in line with the entrance. I feel like you need to do a bit more legwork to get to it. Maybe I even orient it like this. Cool. Got quiet. All right. And then we want a path that goes from here up into here. I want to make this path I want to be able to move it. I guess that'd be a new line tool, right? House roof. Hills. Interesting. What does this tool do? Okay, I like that. And I'm actually going to use it to some effect right now. So I want this to be on kind of a downward slope. So there's like hills here. Go to there. Add layer. Hills. There we go. Then I can put this under there and that'll be great. Now we can have this here, right? And so you've got your schoolhouse here that's built on this hill. And I'm imagining in here a basement where this will be like the kind of final ultimate room of the dungeon is the basement of the schoolhouse, where they're gonna get the big lore thing and possibly some treasure. And then we'll do some other stuff here. So this will be what, one room? Or the basement be the second room. And then we'll put together like 3 houses and an encounter in the main area here. And we'll call it a day on that. Can I add floors to this? I can add floors after when I'm done. When I'm done, let me put some other houses here, and we'll be good. So I still like this spiky rock wall that kind of looks ruiny. I'll just build out some general house shapes. How big would a Dragonborn house be? Maybe like this. Oh, hang on. I wanted this tool. Maybe we've got one that's sort of an L shape, like a back closet area here, right? And then you enter from here. We'll cut the path. We will. Oh shit! Hang on. Oh nope. There. Cut the path. There. Slide this out of the way. Now it's open. And yeah, that should be okay. For a demolished building. Maybe at one point there was like a second story that will be crumbled down here. I don't know what they're gonna find here. So my idea of the lore is that these guys were Cobalt Dragonborn who kind of worshipped a water god, like a god of the sea. And because Cobalt, I don't believe, is a type of dragon in D&D, right? Because there's not currently a water metallic dragon type, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So these will be Cobalt Dragonborn, and their breath weapon will, 1, move players around, as if they're being washed away by water. It'll deal some small amount of bludgeoning and some other amount of, like, cold damage. Maybe just bludgeoning damage, honestly. Or maybe that's where I can introduce, like, enemy variants, where you've got some of the Cobalt Dragons can do bludgeoning, like they're slamming into you with a wall of water. And then some of them can do, like, slashing, where they're kind of turning jets of water into, like, blades and things. That might be cool. The deep lore on the dragons here is not something that I had prepared a whole lot. Hang on. You aren't wall, you're hill. Stop it. Oh, shoot. These need to be in the houses. Right. Let's grab you. Pardon me? Are you not one solid thing? Can I join the paths here? Can I join? How do I do this? There's portals. Oh, wait. Oh, I can add... Okay. I'm just gonna take this and throw it away. This wall here. Farewell, this section of wall. Where the fuck are you at? Why are you in the wrong... I'm so confused. No. There we go. Here. And then there. Cool. Is this not gonna link up? No? Why not? Why is this being a fucker? What are you doing? Okay, here. New node. You go here. You go here. Yes? Yes. Then we take new node. And then you go here. You go here. And I'm a genius. I think. There we go. It worked. I'm genius adjacent. And then maybe town continues off this way. Or like this continues down to broken nothing. I don't know, maybe the path just fills it out as if the town had continued, but it was completely destroyed past this point. Like there. And then I can just make variants on this guy, right? If I add a town or a house that's like here-ish, and then I can edit its path using this tool, so we can get like a more square-ish shape, like a rectangular shape. Maybe just something weird. Like this. That's kind of cool. Sure. I don't know what this house would have been, but they built it strange, so that's fine. And then maybe something like right off the path here. So we get like a path that goes whoop, and then whoop. And then shoot again. How do I want this one to look? I'm okay with this being a smaller place. Like this. Maybe one person lived here at some point long ago. Maybe this house is longer. Like this. Sure. And then I kind of want to add a small stream that goes through here. I don't know if the line tool is set up for this. We're gonna see. Okay, you've got a lot more options and other stuff. Maybe we can just do a color. Yeah, color. Solid line. Go with like a bluish. Right, and then we'll do a freehand, and it'll be like, that's a little thin, I think. Why are you this way? Undo that. Add a layer, object layer, stream. That's fine. Can I have this like feather out or something? I guess it's okay. No, that's fine. So we got a little bit of a stream that goes through here, which will be cool. And then I need to set up the paths. Now that these are all kind of in place, I guess I'll just draw the path in with the old brush here. Yeah, there. And this will go here. It'll go under the stream, up to this house, and then, well, maybe I just don't like the place where this house is actually placed. This one. Like here. And that goes to there, and then this path also goes out to like here, and then it just stops. And I can have this fade out a little bit. I drop the opacity quite a bit. There we go. And then I can raise the opacity back up, and we can draw a path that goes out to here. And maybe we'll put like a well or something off here, sorta, like in this area. And that should be fine. I'm gonna change the brush size. I'm gonna drop the opacity, and I wanna kind of hint that there's a path that goes down back behind here. I don't even know if I want it to be that visible. Maybe I don't even make it visible at all. I'll just leave this as an option if they go around. They'll find the door to the basement. But I could also have the trap door in here, like, be under some rubble or something. Cool. Let's go in with stamps, and we will close this business out. Oh, actually, before I do this, I want to add portals to all of these houses. This tree should go in trees. So this is a portal, and it just lets you, like, add breaks and stuff to buildings, which is cool. Oh, for a second I thought it was like a dotted area, but it's not. So this allows me to add just some broken bits. There we go. As if these things are crumbling away. Whoop. Maybe there. That should be fine. And the schoolhouse will be more or less intact. Cool. Now on the stamps. I will stamp in the trees first. Because this place should be pretty overgrown. Whoops, undo. Trees. We need the stream to go under all these, as well as the hills. There we go. Proper layering. All that business. Maybe there's even like some tree growth inside some of these buildings here. Like this. And for any of them that cover up anything important, I will go back and add opacity to all this stuff. I can even make, like, I can add, I think I can make this whole thing less opacity? Maybe? Layer options? Opacity, there we go. So I can just drop the opacity on all of the trees. Okay, that should be fine. So do I want to make these more or less opaque? This is more opaque. Tree should also be on top. So this is more opaque. Almost kind of like the mystery of this, but... I think that's fine. Oh, sorry. Trying to tuck my hair behind my my headphones. It's not working well. Okay. Now let's go through pots. Pots, not what I need. I need wells. I need a well. Got some wilderness stuff, which I like. We've got trapdoors, which I don't want to make very apparent on the actual map itself. I wish there were more rubble. Oh. Ask and shall receive, I suppose. I need a new layer, object layer for, like, rubble. And that'll go down. Oh, stream. Probably here. There we go. These feel a little bit too big. Yeah, we can go like this. I don't really want it to randomize. How do I stop that? There we go. Like, there's a fair bit of rubble there in that corner. There's some down here. Maybe they need to clear rubble to get into this building at all. That could be good. so it's like blocked off. Down in here, I want this building to be kind of full of stuff, right? What's the point? The second floor had caved in. Oh, I can randomize the rotation? Hell yeah. Cool. Reconnect to your network to resume autosave. What are you talking about? How long has the music been off? Hang on. Why did that happen? That was very weird. Okay. Let's continue. Those will all be kind of torn down. We're gonna have a well. If I can find... that's a pillar. It's close. Very close. No cigar. There's a giant worm, but is there a well? No. No. Craters. I don't need a crater. Well, actually, it is kind of a crater. It's more of a pit, I suppose. House and farm. Wells. There we go. Here. And then smaller. We'll use this one. There we go. I think this is probably fine for the base map. Oh, in one of these buildings, I need... Maybe one of these was a church. Maybe this building was like a liturgical church building. And... because I'm seeding this whole thing about there being some sort of serpent that these folk were worshipping, were honoring. And if I had... if I had a statue, which is probably here. Statue? Yeah, maybe here in the church there's a statue that is a bit more of a serpent thing, because they had, if we take a look, at our monastery. In the courtyard of the monastery, there was a statue of a snake curling into a broken circle lying in the rubble. There we go. Oh, I closed obsidian. So maybe we get that sort of same thing. We can do the same symbolism of the statues broken, indicating that whatever they'd been worshipping is now gone. And then we just need, the map for the basement will be simple. It'll just be like a rectangular room. Okay, now for this rubble, this statue should not go in the rubble. That houses. All of that's a little bit too dark. I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, it's probably fine. No, I don't even want to dark or lighten it up. That's just the way it's gonna be. I don't think it looks particularly great, but we'll live. Campfires, packs, tiny rocks, tree stumps. Okay. Here we go. I want to add tree stumps. Object layer. Just to indicate where you might get cover under the trees. here. Cool, we'll make these probably 5 foot big. And anywhere we see a tree, we're just gonna toss a tree stump. Right? Here. Uh-oh, there is a stink bug I can hear rattling around on the ceiling. Gotta love our invasive species, huh? What we do without them? Probably live less annoyed lives. And this is necessary because there is going to be combat here. We're going to design that in a second. It'll be very simple. My plan is for this session to be easy peasy. Maybe not for them, but for me at least. Because after this session, I get to design a city, which I am excited and worried about. It turns out designing a single city is much harder than designing a patch of ruins. Okay. Where are we at? I kind of want to add floors to all of these buildings. There's definitely a bug in here. Oh. Hang on a second. There's no longer a bug. Okay. How would I add floors? Oh! Brain. My brain is working. Hang on. Paper. Textures. Wood floor. Look at me. My immense genius. Well, hang on. Cool, that should be fine. This. Now we got our texture skill. I don't know how much of this floor would actually be left in reality. Probably not a lot, but now we at least know where the bounds of the buildings are a little bit more. Pay no mind to the fact that I just drew out of the lines. Can I delete? Erase. Why did it just delete, why is the delete button doing that? Okay. I'm gonna forget about that. Move on with my life. Sometimes you gotta leave well enough alone. I think we're good. Okay, and then I will... This will be the player version that they can see. Probably on screen, and then if we need to focus on anything for battle map stuff, we can do that. Hang on, I'm gonna save this. You aren't privy to my goes on behind the scenes here, so you'll have to go look at my obsidian. Export as image. It's fine. File format JPEG. We can drop the quality a little bit. I need to make sure that's not gonna kill my computer. Ooh, I've got like no storage space. What ate all my storage space? Is there a game installed on Steam or something? Hang on. Classic. These should all install to a different area. No, don't really have any games installed that would impact my PC. It's my documents. Stuff in my documents. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do something about this. But later. Okay, the export's finished. Cool. Now you can see my incarnate again. Now we need to go to the work of adding... Where am I at in the music? Is that too sad? That might be too sad. We're gonna listen to Brain Age music so we feel smart. Even if we are not. I need to label all of the areas here. So this will be area 1. It looks like an eye. Here we go. Area 1. Or just, I guess, just one. It's fine. This will be 2. Actually, I'm going to move this to this commons area, right? So we got 3. There we go. I'm not the only one who feels like this text is wrong, right? That's because they are. These all need to be on top, and then their opacity needs to be at 100%. They look bad. And they should all probably be a little bit bigger. Right? And we can put them back in place. 1, 2, and 3. Uh, 4. My guess is a stream should be easy enough that we don't need an encounter or anything for that. 5. 6, and then there's going to be a 7, but it is the basement of this building. I guess I can put that back here. 7. Okay. Cool. That's all numbered out. I want to add traps to this place, because the lore is that this used to be a cobalt dragonborn colony at some point in the very, very distant past. And then the whole place got raised by dragons during some battle. And they had kind of fortified this area a little bit more. But the only thing that is left now of that battle is traps. So, yeah, let's see what we can do about this. I'm not feeling this music. I gotta be completely honest. Rubble. Could I add like a pit or something? That's a pillar. Hog wheels. I mean, it'd be more in this realm, right? Trap. There we go. So like down here, or maybe just entering the village here, there's a trap right there. Maybe there's a trap here by the well. And then one here. So like this area was completely set up. Because my idea is that as soon as they get to this spot, you get like undead dragonborn come back. And we'll do the stat blocks for those in a second. Undead dragonborn come back and attack the players when they enter this area. And we're gonna have some lore here. We're going to have probably not a lot here, maybe some like utility items or bits of metal or leather or something that they can use to make items. There's whole crafting rules now. I should give them stuff for that. But we'll talk about loot here in a second as well. This trap will probably just come up immediately, and then this one will probably come up in combat. We'll see. Okay, what next? Could I add the locations where they would be? I guess I could add, like, coffins. Something. Statue pillars? No. Okay, I'm gonna use this to represent where the Dragonborn come back from. So one there. And these are all CR1. There's gotta be three level 5 PCs. So we'll probably have one here. My guess is they could probably take 5 of these guys before they get overwhelmed in an opening encounter. So like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're spread out enough that you can't just fireball them all. I think that should be good. And this will trigger right as they step on any one of these triggers. So we should be good. I'm gonna rename this to like overlay or something. Because this is the DM only stuff. Okay. And then the rest of this is written, and then I'll run a combat in the basement of this schoolhouse. Maybe possibly run a combat there. I'll have to figure something out for that. Oh, I wonder, could I use undead zombie children for psychological warfare? I think so. Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll design a final room. I'm going to hide this from you, and I'm going to export it for my eyes as the DM. And then we'll hop into Obsidian and we'll write some stuff, and we should be on our way. Okay. Downloads, where are my images? I kind of want Encounters to have its own image folder. Who's texting me? Oh, no one. It was my email. For no reason. Folder. Images. We've got the Ruins 1. And Ruins 2, which I'm going to rename. Arthur Ruins. DM only. There we go. And if we click into these, we can see the map that we just made. Got the main ruins here, and then the DM only copy that actually shows you what is on the map. When I play, I've got two screens, one of which faces the players and one of which is for me and my stat blocks. If I ran this outside of my apartment, I would probably have to draw this stuff on a battle map, or just describe it. Okay. New encounter. With our ruins. Cool. Let's just go in order of stuff that I know and stuff that I don't. So we're going to need the approach. Maybe this could be in area 1. Yeah, we'll just go 1, 2, 2. 4. And then 1 is the approach. Right? So on the approach, let's pull this up. Rid of a blurb that I probably read. Can I? Oh, I can't navigate this yet. Okay. An overgrown thicket. Can I type? Thicket obscures the ruins of Harthar Town. Now diminished by time and war. As you approach the town, You hear only the rustling of the leaves. And the quiet murmur of wildlife. Leaves, quiet murmur of wildlife. And sound of your own footsteps. Okay. Jump back. That's area 1. Can I add a note? How do I do this? There's a way to do this. Info note obsidian. Okay. Let's see if the Google AI is correct. So that creates a block. What? Bang info. Note. Like DM info. Contains a what do I want this trap to be called? I think it's like Dragon's Fire. Pit of Dragon's Fire, or do I have to be fire? Because they're not really fire dragons, right? Fire Dragonborn, they're water Dragonborn? Yeah, I guess we Dragon's Fire. Pit of Dragon's Fire explosives. And then I need some small, I guess mechanics and gimmicks might be the place for it, huh? Can I do a warning or something? Do you? Yes, there we go. And I can just set this to be traps. Cool. I should also be able to add the image for the Hearthar ruins up top, which is like this, I believe. No, uh-oh. I didn't know you could infinitely nest. I didn't know you could infinitely nest notes in obsidian. That was kind of fun. I'm surprised it didn't crash anything. Maybe if I had waited, it would have crashed. Or maybe it detects loops, I don't know. Or you know what I should do? This should be my DM only image so that I have quick reference for it. Here, and then I'll just pull up the base one. Or I could just, you know. I'm gonna just do this. I gotta both. Both here. Player facing. I'd really love it if I could select it down so I can type. There we go. DM only. Cool. So that's area 1 here, which is just the approach. And then I need to give them a choice. So ahead, there's a fork. There's a fork in the path. One of which continues onto a ruined house. Or maybe I'll do connections in a second. I will come back and I will connect everything in a moment. Let's lay out number 2. Okay, the well. First block explosives marked with a T. And I'm just gonna steal this. I'm gonna copy it down here. And it's 1, 2. Yeah, I guess just 2 more. Two pits of dragonfire explosives marked with a T. And then this area contains what are they? They're gonna be. I'm basing it off the Ashwalker stat block from Tome of Beast 1. But they're gonna be called something else. Graves of 5. Undead, Cobalt, Dragonborn. Entering this area, marked with a T. These can only be triggered by leaving to cross the stream. Approaching the well. Okay. Triggers the undead to rise and fight the party. Leaving across the stream, approaching the well, or during combat, which will be fun if they trigger the traps during combat. That'll be cool. Okay. Cool. Ooh, there could be treasure in the well. Or there could be something in the well. They pull up a bucket. They actually don't have a bucket. Surprisingly, they need a bucket. I need like a mundane loot. Table 5e. I will definitely steal this. That's cool. I just need something like stupid that would be in a bucket in a well. What could it be? I kind of want to take the cat out of the session. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in the town here that exploring certain areas they'll have the chance to find a collar that would fit a cat. Because I want to very early tie the cat to the worship of this serpent. And if I introduce the cat and then I immediately introduced a collar, they'd pick up on it really easily, I'm assuming. But if I spread it out, so like let's say they get the collar here, so now they're kind of primed for it, and they come back to their bastion at some point, you know, in like sometime in Sextember. That's 6, by the way. Sept is 7. October is 8, right? They're gonna be confused by the fact that those two are so similar. Probably why that changed on the actual calendar, by the way. The words are just very close. Yeah, I'm gonna change it. Cat. No cat. Cat gets introduced later. Okay. What would be in the well? You arrive. I didn't spell it right. Upon a well. Set between 2 ruined buildings. What is the cover that goes over a well? Is that like an awning? Well cover. No. Name. No, no, old-timey well. Old-timey. Nope. House. It's called a well house. Okay. The house of this well. Is long rotted. Has rotted away. Cool. Some time ago. At the bottom of the well. I'm imagining that, oh, what, they could just have gold. They could just get gold and coins and stuff. They could get like a really stupid amount of silver, like a little bit of silver, because they would have been worth more back then. So we need a little bit more here. Arriving at the well. Right. And then we need or I guess this could be approaching, or it could be so approaching the well triggers one of the traps. I think this would be if a player's like trying to if they concoct some way to pull something out of the well, or they go to inspect it further, that triggers this. There's always a rub in D&D that I found, and I've not been able to completely solve it. I've got some tools that help, where a lot of players will just go into a room and be like, so what's in there? And then you can describe things that they see, but if they don't take the initiative, pun intended, to actually go and like inspect things, a lot of modules just don't give you a condition for what happens. So I kind of like that I've got this that's kind of like, okay, there's stuff at the bottom of the well. I might actually change the language up to make that a bit more clear. As well. Rotted away some time ago. Pieces of that covering now sit at the base of the well. So this isn't down into the pit, but this is around the base of like the stone that comes out of the ground. Okay. Now read this if a player attempts to inspect the well further, or if the players decide to do something with it, to inspect or search. Take a step towards the well, and your foot sinks maybe this won't. Okay, I'm gonna the trigger for this change. Leaving across the stream, or during combat. I don't want approaching the well to be a condition here at all, because then there's a bunch of stuff going on. Okay, take a step towards the well and your foot sinks into... Can I type where I was planning on? Thank you. Into a shallow grave. A glint of cobalt metal shines up through the dirt as 5 dragonborn zombies from the ground around you. And this is a spot where we will initiative. We're doing the dungeoneering mechanics from Mystic Arts, so whether or not they're surprised depends on if someone's keeping lookout. If no one's keeping a lookout, then they get surprised here. Is how I'll probably rule it on the day. Why? I need more music. More better music. Okay, there's a playlist here that I have called Beat 'em Up. Let's see what this is. Maybe this'll be what I need. Okay. Okay, I'm fine with this. And then I want one more heading here, which is this is a little bit too much, I think. A little bit too much on the music, but that's fine. Treasure in the well. Players manage to too loud? No, it seems fine. Players manage to reach the bottom of the well. Find the fall. What would they find at the bottom of a well? Let's go like 10 GP. Darth Vader? When did you show up? That's interesting. They get 10 gold pieces and a locket, no, a pendant. Maybe like 5 gold pieces or something. A weathered circular pendant. Worth 10 GP to the right buyer. So this is like an antique artifact that they found. So if they sold this to like an archaeologist or someone, they could get 10 GP out of it. Maybe more. Let's go like 100. Make it worth their while. Okay, I could continue, but first, let's design a monster here. I'm going to show a stat block that I did not create, and then I'm going to modify it. But in order for this to be transformative and not be me stealing, I need to comment on what we're about to see. So let me begin the commentary here. I think that, hang on, I'm actually going to hide this. Okay. And I'll copy only what I need, so I don't have to give glowing commentary to all of this stuff. I could have done this before, and it would have been probably better. I think that the Tome of Beasts Ashwalker is a very good enemy to run in your session. And I also suggest that if you do intend on using monsters like this, and you find monsters like this enjoyable, that you should go and buy Tome of Beasts 1 by Kobold Press. It's a very, very good book that I give glowing reviews to. I give it a solid 9 out of 10 because I don't know what a 10 out of 10 monster book would look like. So I can only imagine that there might be one better. But for the price, you can't go wrong. So go do that. And then I should have played that music for the whole time. And then come back to me. But we're gonna make changes immediately. Specifically the name. This will be like a kobold. Dragonborn. Zombie. Is it Dragonborn like this? You know what? Let me put this in a different spot really quick. Okay, we're gonna go down to our monsters down here. And we've got a dragonkin section. I'm gonna add a new note, and it's just gonna be Dragonborn. Cobalt Dragonborn. There we go. Nope, not Barbarian. Why did that say Barbarian? Incorrect. False. Why is this happening to me? Dragonborn. Zombie. There we go. Cool. Render true. They're medium. Their type is undead. That is correct. I'm gonna... Actually, I'll probably just keep their HP and AC the same for now. I'm shooting for CR1. Languages can't speak. It's fine. These stats are good. I might want to boost the con a little bit. What if I boost the con to 12? Damage immunities, not poison. I can make them immune to bludgeoning damage. Does another party use bludgeoning damage, really? No. They could be resistant to... So they're supposed to be immune to the damage type that they produce. But the damage type that these guys produce is bludgeoning damage with their breath weapon. So... I'm gonna give them a resistance to bludgeoning. Resistances, right? And then let's see if I remember to spell bludgeoning. Cool. Is that gonna fuck us up? Did we do it? Yeah, there we go. They're resistant to bludgeoning damage. Traits, Breathborn. Yeah, no. Oh, wrong, incorrect. This creature has immunity to... has resistance. By the way, if you're making homebrew monsters, this is the way to do it. Just copy stat blocks you like, make changes, and it's new content. I do this for a ton of stuff. Some stuff I do create whole cloth my own, but for the most part, it's all me. Or it's all this type of stuff. Burst of breath, a creature that touches the... ooh, that's not the name of this. Whoa. From 5 feet, it takes 1d6 bludgeoning. You know, I'm just gonna go through and change all instances of the old name to the new name. Yippee! And then this needs to be bludgeoning damage. Last breath. The first time the Cobalt Dragonborn zombie is reduced to 0 HP, it drops to 1 HP instead, and its Draconic Breath automatically recharges. While it's in this form, it's immune to all damage until the end of its next turn. I missed this when I ran this in our test combat. It's immune to all damage. I should keep that in mind. In my opinion, as soon as this triggers, it should just get up and automatically its breath weapon fires off. I think that's just cleaner. Slam, +4 to hit, reach 5 feet. This is fine. Breath. Draconic Breath recharges on the 6. It breathes water in a 15-foot cone. No. In a 10-foot wide, 15-foot long line. So it makes like a rectangular flood of water. Each creature within that area must make a DC 12. This will be a Dex save instead of a Con save. Taking 46 is fine. Or, okay, let's change it. 2d8. Actually, are there any other water spells that exist in D&D already that do this sort of thing? Um, water spells. D&D. There's a lot of stuff that makes water, but not a lot of stuff that, like, shoots water, right? Animate water, control water. Rushing waters is probably what I want. Yeah, here we go. Doesn't do any damage, though, from my reading. Diluvial torrent. Oh, I should also use the 2024 format for this. What uses that? Okay, I can still review the red dragon. The red dragons are cool, but you can find this stuff very easily. I'm just gonna copy this because I like the format. They came with a much better formatting for success and failure on this sort of stuff. So it's a dexterity saving throw DC 12. Each creature in a 10-foot 13-foot long line. Each creature as the zombie breathes a is torrent a good word? Torrent. A flood. A flood of water. There we go. Failure will be 2d8. And of course, we all know the average of fire damage. No, bludgeoning damage. Boom, boom. And is knocked prone. Success, half damage. What is 2d8? I need any dice. Not sponsored. I just use this a lot. It's a very good calculator for determining how much damage things do and all that jazz. On average. Calculate 9. Dexterity saving throw DC 12. Each creature I'm gonna reformat this just a little bit. There we go. The zombie breathes a flood of water in a 10-foot wide, 15-foot long line. Oh, hang on. 10-foot wide, 15-foot long line. Failure, 2d8 bludgeoning damage, is knocked prone. Bludgeoning damage is knocked prone. Okay, I know how I want to phrase this. is knocked prone and pushed to the end of the breath weapon. So success half damage and pushed 5 feet away from the zombie. Okay. Cool. And then this doesn't take fire damage. This just does 2d6 plus 2 bludgeoning. So it just hits harder. What's 2d6 plus 2? 2d6 plus 2. The average of that is also 9. Cool. Is this right? So that's 13. That's only a plus 1, right? It's making a slam attack with dex? How does that... No, that doesn't make sense. What's his prof? Oh, 2. Okay. So it should be plus 2. Or plus 3, right? It should be strength. I know these guys are dexterous, but that should be strength, like 100%. There should be 3. Cool. Okay, it's resistant to bludgeoning. Cobalt dragon zombies resistant to bludgeoning. Yep. Creature that touches the cobalt 1d6 bludgeoning. Yep. The first time cobalt dragon zombie is reduced to 0 HP, drops to 1 instead. Doesn't require air, food, water, sleep. So you hit 2d6 plus 2 bludgeoning. Should be 2d6 plus 1 bludgeoning, which has an average of, I believe, 8. So this is slightly worse, which is fine. Plus 1 bludgeoning damage, dex saving throw DC 12. Each creature of the zombie breathes a flood of water and 10 foot. Knocked prone and pushed to the end of the breath weapon. Success half damage and is pushed 5 feet away from the zombie. Okay, these guys are pretty strong. I think CR1 is still fine. So we will see. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be right back. I'm returned. I'm back. Okay. These guys should be a real pain in the ass for the players. But if they play well, they shouldn't die. Right, they should be fine. They did kill a young red dragon at level 5, so they'll be okay. Righto. These guys are, I believe, done. Now, there's one last thing I want to look at, which is the XP you get. So they're on milestone leveling as players, but I have some interesting items that they all have. They all have artifacts. Artifacts as part of their characters, and these artifacts level up. So I did an interesting thing a while ago, where I created these weapons that all do a variety of things, and they have this threshold on them, which is 150, and the secret is that they level up. So, you know, their first level is kind of the base skill, and then when they get to a 150 XP, right, they level up again. Except for this item, which levels up based on the number of eyes that this character possesses. That their item is completely different. It's just weird. They've also got this homeward bound item, which is the same deal. It levels up the same way. So I need to decide on XP for all this stuff and look at where they would level up. They will probably level up their items more than once on the first mission out. That's okay. Leveling gets exponentially slower as we continue, because they're going to spend more time lower level fighting lower level monsters and this sort of thing. This item is the homeward bound, and if you're not a player in this campaign, you're fine to watch. But if you are a player in this campaign, please do not watch this. You'll spoil yourself a lot. The homeward bound item levels up a little bit different. Normally you only get XP for killing stuff. This gets XP by visiting, exploring, and clearing locations. So for this encounter, I will have to decide on how much XP this player gets for visiting, how much they get for exploring, and how much they get for full clearing it. Right, I want them to be about the same in terms of XP. If the person who's wielding the Dragon Tuner kills all of the draconic enemies, which is its condition, kills all the draconic enemies in the location, how much XP do they get? And I want to match that to clearing the map. So I'll calculate that stuff at the end. Right now, if we take a look at the monster I just made, or that I just stole and then modified a lot, he gets 200 XP, so that automatically levels it up immediately after he kills one of these things. I'm going to say for the purposes of killing, he needs to have done a majority of the damage. It's a little bit loose, but listen, they don't know about XP leveling at all. They've never done it. They're always milestone. So I can make the rules up and they have to live with it, and that's fine. I'm also the dungeon master, so if I say something goes, that's how it happens. So, yippee. The reason that their items level up is to encourage them to do things like collect treasure and explore locations and fight stuff. Given what they told me last time, they would rather be just tracking the time as it goes by, manually fixing up their own bastion. So trying to give them a push to go do other stuff. Okay. So that'll be already 1,000 XP off the bat. Am I comfortable with that? So something I thought about, I don't know. I might want to change the leveling thresholds on this. Oh, I've already printed the sheet. No, I guess we'll just roll with it. If they get too powerful off the jump, I will just give them more powerful monsters to fight. And I'll balance it that way. That'll be funny. Given they killed a young red dragon in the first session. This thing, by the way, this thing was supposed to run away. Look at this stat block. I made it a little bit less strong. I didn't reduce its HP though. Look at this. The only thing I changed to make this worse is it has cowardice, so when it gets below half health, it tries to run away. And it did. And I reduced the breath weapon by half. They had... Most people in the party went down, except for one character, who got someone up and then teleported them on top of the dragon using a magic item that I stole a 3.5e spell and stuck it on this magic item so they can swap the position of two creatures on the battlefield. They teleported the dragon rider on top of the dragon, which took off into the air in fear and then had its head cut off in the air. They're not supposed to be able to kill this thing. It even had a condition to run away from them. And they just chased it down and killed it. They're not even that powerful. They have like a few cool items and that's it. So I'm not worried about them being super powerful. That's kind of the point. What was I doing? I get so distracted. Ah, the ruins. Yes. I was designing this. Roll initiative. I can... Here. Boop. We're gonna use this trick again. Cobalt Dragonborn. And then I need to take a look at this. How do I do this? Okay. There we go. You can use this to link to specific sections of a note in Obsidian. So I can import very specific stat blocks like this. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'd love to finish this all tonight, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to. There's a lot more to do. What is number 3? Number 3 is this church. Enter the ruins of a former liturgical building. Liturgical means of the church. It's just a church building. Just in case you didn't know. It's a good word. Crumbling wooden pews. I mean, they might be really rotted. Rotted, burnt scraps of wooden pews litter the floor. This overgrown church. On one wall, a crumbling statue. One wall stands a crumbling statue. Players who investigate the area. And succeed on a DC. That should be pretty. A DC 10. Investigation or perception check. I don't want to word this. Perception check. Investigation, perception, or history is what I want. That this was once much larger version of the statue that resides in the monastery. Just made an investigation or perception check. And succeeded with an 18. Let's go 17 or higher. Spell this wrong? Monastery. Find the following item. A small blue sphere of magical glass. When used as an eye, orbital socket, which is an item they have that you can insert magical items into to gain various effects. When used as an eye on the orbital socket, the wearer of the socket is protected from the rain as if they had an umbrella. Cool. And then I will probably just make a card for this that explains what that does. Stands a crumbling statue. Cool, and that's fine. Stands a crumbling statue. U-shaped statue. Top of a waist-high pedestal. There we go. I spell this right? Cool. That should be fine. What is 4? 4 is this building. I don't know what's gonna be in that building. Can I? Oh, no, I can't move around this too much. Okay. This will be cool. This will just be like Ruined House A. The remains of this crumbling house lie. How do I want to phrase this? I want to say that this is obviously the ruins of this house are old, but that like the scraps of wood and nails here could be repurposed. Remains of this this building remain in shockingly good condition. I'm thinking that like maybe at some point someone came through and like tried to rebuild one of the houses and it fell down again. They found that when they explored the monastery where they started the adventure too, is that like people had been repurposing these buildings, but they kept getting destroyed or abandoned. Remain in shockingly good condition. Despite now being collapsed. You imagine that if hauled back to your bastion. This might reduce or this might reduce the cost of repairing a small room. I think it's a small room, right? Small room, repairing or building. Repairing or building a small room. Only the cost of labor, which is 1/4 the normal cost. So this just gives them a 3/4 discount on building a room, which is quite a bit of gold. But they still need to find a way to drag it back, which they don't really have. The ruins here. Use little bits of this. Ruined house weigh. How much does this weigh? I don't know. Probably 500 pounds, 600 pounds, right? Sure, about 500 pounds. Just to come up with a number. 5. What's 5? This building here. This is the one I want them to find the collar in. Oh, you know, I'm gonna add another one. Yeah, okay, this will be fun. Let's do this. This won't even be a trap. This will just be like an obstacle. This area contains 1 undead cobalt. Oh yeah, I changed the name of this, didn't I? Let me modify this. There. Like this. We will go here. 1 undead. 1 cobalt dragonborn zombie. Buried under some rubble. Has a movement speed of 0. But if the players investigate this area, but if the players, what are their options for this? Investigate the area without someone keeping watch. Investigate the area without someone keeping watch. The zombie is accidentally released. Let me add a blurb. Okay, is accidentally released. Almost entirely in ruin. The rubble here is made of stone. It could possibly be moved. Okay. See the glint of something metallic. Tucked at the back of a pile of rubble. I suspect that you could reach it, or you could reach it now, that you may be able to clear the rubble. Okay. Players must pass a it'll be like a DC 15 dex check. Sleight of hand. Nope, that's not useful. That sleight of hand check to reach the item. They can pass DC 15 strength check to move the rubble. Or they can take their time and succeed. In 2 rounds, which is 12 seconds. Let's make it. It's like DC 18 is very strong. And it should actually be DC 19. Normal people should never be able to move that much rubble that quickly. But if your strength is like otherworldly, you could probably pull it off. Strength check to move the rubble in 12 seconds, or they can take their time to move the rubble. Over a period of 10 minutes without a check. The item is a cat's collar. It's a blue cat's collar with a cobalt buckle. Held by the zombie. If the zombie is released and killed, it drops this item. Or they can just grab it, right? So that's the game. Either you reach in there with the sleight of hand and you grab it out of the hand of the zombie, or you clear out the rubble. The zombie comes to life. It was always alive, but it can now get you. And then it's holding this collar. Okay. And they most likely don't need to roll for initiative for this combat because they'll kill it immediately. It's very weak. And I'll come up with item cards for this. I want to go back really quick before I forget. There is Dragon's Fire. Let me add this here. So a pit of Dragon's Fire. And then I need a note that's just Dragon's Fire, right? The bottled form of a dragon's breath weapon. Despite the name, these small ampules of glowing gas or liquid can contain the essence of any dragon's breath. No, essence. How do you spell essence? Essence? Is it just... Oh, there we go. Cold, fire, lightning, etc. Shattering the ampules. Ampule. Douses the surrounding area. And the dragon's breath. Dealing 1d4 damage of the breath of the breath type to all creatures in a 5-foot radius. Okay. So this is a Dragon's Fire ampule, and then the pit shallow pit containing 1d4 Dragon's Fire ampules. And stepped in I'm gonna leave the DC up to the module, not this blurb here. And stepped in the ampule's burst. End of the question. If investigated before triggering, players can collect the ampules. With a DC 12 sleight of hand check. Sleight of hand check. There we go. And now if we jump back to the ruins and we go to pit of it's a pit of Dragon's Fire. And then I want DC, probably DC 14 to evade. DC 14 Dex. Two pits of Dragon's Fire. Be written like this. There we go. That's a bit better. Now we've got rules. Even within the traps, there's treasure that they can collect. We're getting a kind of fully featured module going here. Kind of excited for this. Okay, we'll save the school design and the final boss for the end. The last thing we'll do for this is we need to design this encounter here in the school. Well, they will get a little bit of information on the fact that it's a school and not just a regular house or a church or whatever. They can do a mini game up here to perceive that there could be a path behind the school down the slope here. They'll need to do some checks or some rubble clearing here at the front. And then they'll need to successfully detect, like, what's going on and if there's a trap door in here to get to the lower level. That sort of thing. But yeah, I am all out of time for today, so I'm going to call it here. I'll probably be back tomorrow because I need to get this done to work on this, and then since I don't think doing the last 2 rooms is going to take me all day, I will probably stream some Hollow Knight, Pantheon 5, hopefully. That's the